Hello and welcome to today's video. Welcome to Snowdonia, Wales' first national park. It is home to Wales' highest mountain and its largest natural lake. There are only 3 national parks here in Wales, and Snowdonia is the biggest and the oldest one. I am very excited because today I am going to take you on an epic hike and I will show you various places here of the National Park Snowdonia. Currently I am in front of the Dolbadarn Castle, which is a fortification that has been built in the 13th century by a Welsh prince. It was an important place for the military, but also to show the power and authority of the prince. And this castle is located at the base of the Llanberis Path. I'm sorry, by the way, I am not sure if I am pronouncing the names correctly because it's Welsh and I don't speak the language. But if anybody from Wales here is watching, you can correct me in the description below. Now the Llanberis Path will be important because that is a hike that we are going to start in just a little bit. And I am very excited because it'll take us all the way to the highest peak of Wales, which is the Snowdon mountain. So let's not waste any time because it'll be quite a long hike. So let's get started. So the hike starts in the village Llanberis, and there's also a train that you can take. Actually, this hike that I'm going to do will be along the railway all the way up to the summit, which is the highest point of Mount Snowdon and also the highest point here in Wales. It has an altitude of more or less 1086 meters. Now, if you want to take the train, you can do so. It starts, as I mentioned before, here in the village. This is also the starting point for the hike. The train will cost you £42 per person for a round trip. So you will go up with the train. Up there, as far as I know, you will have 30 minutes. And then the train will take you back here to the village. Now, there are various hikes that you can choose from to get up the Mount Snowdon. In total, I think there are 6 hikes. I chose the Llanberis Path, which is the longest hike, but also they say that it is the easiest one, as it is not as steep as the others. So I chose that one. It is in total 14 kilometers long. One little hint that might be useful: at the train station where this hike also starts, there are toilets, there's a cafe, a restaurant, so you can get some snacks as well before starting this hike and go to the bathroom, because there are quite a few people here and I'm not sure if you can just do your things here in nature without being seen by lots of people. And also, we are starting steep already. I can't believe I'm 5 minutes into this hike and already out of breath. I just had to take off my sweater because it is so hot, it is exhausting. The hike is extremely steep. I'm not so sure if you can actually see it in the camera, but it is extremely steep already and I'm already sweating. I'm 50 minutes into the hike and I'm sweating already. Incredible. There are quite a lot of people passing by that are coming down already, so I guess they've done the sunrise hike. I started my hike at 9:30, so also quite early. I guess if you do the sunrise hike, it's always a bit risky to see a great sunrise because, as far as I know, it is cloudy quite often. It is a bit risky to not get the best sunrise. But anyway, it must be epic if you are one of those lucky ones. It is now sunny on one side and super cloudy on the other side. So we'll see if I get lucky to get epic views from up there. Also, I would clearly recommend you to bring a sweater here because I am here in June and it is chilly. Obviously, you will get hot during this hike, but in any case, up there it might get super windy and therefore quite chilly. So a sweater is always useful. I think I can theoretically see Mount Snowdon because it is currently hiding behind these clouds over there. Let's see if I will be above the clouds later on. The train is about to pass by. I'm not sure if you can already see it. It's somewhere down there, pretty far still. But it's passing by super slowly. It's driving extremely slowly, I feel. And this is the first train I'm seeing passing by. There are 2 kinds of trains. This one is the normal one. I'm not sure how it operates. Maybe electric, I'm not sure though. But there's another one that is a steam train. That one is a bit more expensive. It costs you £10 more if I remember it right. And the train, by the way, is operating since more than 100 years and it is still a very popular tourist attraction here in Wales, in Snowdonia. The train is driving so slow I can hardly see it moving actually. I think it takes about 1 hour to get all the way up to the summit with the train. So also quite some time. I can see the halfway house right in front of me. I am into this hike since 1 hour and 10 minutes more or less. And this building is meant to be more or less at the middle of the hike. And well, you can get some tea and coffee there. And I think they even have some snacks, but I brought my own food. So I'm just going to do a break over there to get some more energy again. Alright, the break felt pretty good, to be honest. I feel like I am having more energy now and I'm going to continue this hike now. Also, I had to put on my sweater again because actually it is getting pretty chilly and also a little bit windy up here. Well, I might be halfway through now, but honestly I have the feeling that the hardest part is yet to come, because there I can see the mountain, the peak, and as you can see it is hiding behind the clouds, but I feel like there's quite a steep wall that is going up into the clouds, so I think the last part will be tough probably. Oh dear, I think I am in front of that last extremely hard part. It looks super steep. I was thinking I'm already going up steep, but that is a bit crazy. Alright, by now I made it all the way up. I just needed some time to process everything and to catch my breath again, to be honest. This last part was incredibly tough. I'm not going to lie. It was extremely steep and it just seemed to get steeper and steeper. There was at some point a bridge that we were passing by. That was the bridge where the train rides as well, so we were going below that bridge, and after that it was getting even steeper than before. It was just getting worse and worse and harder. At some point I felt like I was hardly moving anywhere. This is meant to be the easiest hike. I have no idea what the others are like, but it must be insanely hard. I would say in general everybody can make it. Everybody who is into hiking and has a more or less good fitness level. The path in general is very well maintained and it is a great path, a wide one. So it is a good hike, but it is extremely steep. The incline is insane and that makes it really hard. It definitely is not the easiest hike I've ever done. Now here behind me you can now see the summit, or actually the summit, the highest point, is behind that mountain. I've just been there and I was a little bit surprised to see what I have found there, because there was a huge line of people lining up to get their picture taken on the highest point. And they said that they were waiting for like 15 to 20 minutes and I decided not to wait that long because first of all, it is extremely windy up there and therefore super cold. And second of all, you don't see that much. I mean, look at that, we are in the clouds and you really don't see that much. So I decided not to wait that time, but I've been there. I've been there. That's the most important thing. And the train station is right next to the summit. So those who are coming with the train, they will get dropped off right in front of the summit. Well, unfortunately, the views are really not the best today. Before I was able to see some lakes here, a little bit at least, and that was pretty impressive. But for me, I guess the most impressive part for today was the hike in general, like the way further down there. We were also able to see a lake down there, which was beautiful. The views are insane, that's for sure. But I would have loved to see, of course, the views from up here. They must be incredible. Anyway, I will take a small break here now. I will drink something, I will have some snacks here. And once I will be back down in the village, I will tell you how long it took me to do this hike in total. And I will also continue to show you another point here in Snowdonia. I am now almost back in the village of Llanberis, just right in front of me. And that means I almost finished this hike. It took me in total 5 hours to do this hike. I calculated with 7 because that is what I read on the internet. And I would recommend you to calculate with 7 hours as well, just to ensure that you will come back as well during daylight. And of course, I really hope that you guys will get luckier than I did up there on the summit and that you will have a clear view over the whole area, and therefore meaning you would also most likely spend more time up there on the summit to enjoy the views. And of course, if you want to get your picture taken, you will also need to wait in line, unfortunately. For me, to be honest, this line up there was a little bit awkward. I've never seen anything similar anywhere on a hike. Of course, I understand it. A lot of people want to get their picture taken there to have that kind of proof that they did it, that they came all the way up there to the highest point of Wales, and also to have some kind of reward for all the pain during the hike. But in any case, for me, it was a little bit awkward and a little bit of a bummer, to be honest. I really enjoyed this hike. It is an absolutely stunning area, absolutely beautiful, and the views are just amazing during the hike already. So even that I didn't get the amazing views up there, I still enjoyed it a lot, and it was worth the pain, in my opinion. Now I will go back to the car, and then I want to show you one more place, because Snowdonia is actually famous for its mountain views and the lakes, and that means it is now time to explore a lake as well. And here I am again, doing a hike. I just parked the car, and right in front of the car park there is the starting point of this hike towards the lake Idvai. It'll take me around 10 to 15 minutes to get the first glance of the lake, so it's not too far, but there's a long tour that you can take. It is a circular route that will take you all the way around the lake. I'm not sure though if I will do the whole hike, because, well, I've done quite a lot of hiking already, so I might not do the whole circular route and just check out the area a little bit. So far, I am in love with the beauty of this area here, because there is like a river and a little waterfall. So far, this is a really beautiful hike here. There's another lake on the other side of the street. It is also a lake where you can do a circular route, but that one is bigger. So depending on what you want to do, how much time you have left, either choose the bigger one or the lake Idvai, which is a little bit smaller. I had to take off my sweater again because it's getting hot, but also look at the almost 100% blue sky, which is beautiful now. And here I am right in front of the lake Idvai. It looks epic. The views are absolutely stunning. I love that it is surrounded by the mountains, and it is not as big as I expected. And you can totally see the circular route that you can take here. It doesn't seem to be hard. It is on the same level, so you won't have to go up anymore. It is a really beautiful and peaceful place. By the way, this lake has been carved out by glacier movements, and it is filled up with crystal clear water. And there's something very unique about this area here, because the lake is part of a so-called hanging valley, which means that it is basically a valley inside of a valley. And therefore it is, geologically speaking, a very special place. Now I just decided not to do the whole circular route here, because honestly I am tired, my legs are tired, my feet hurt, and I'm most likely going to be sore tomorrow. So no more hiking for me today. But anyway, this is a beautiful place and a perfect place to do another hike that is way shorter than the first one I did. Now, thank you so much for joining me on my adventure through Snowdonia. I will definitely come back at some point to explore more areas here in the national park, because it is an absolutely stunning place. If you enjoyed this little video, make sure to leave me a thumbs up, because you're going to support my work a lot by doing so. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I am going to show you further adventures, so make sure to not miss out on any adventures anymore. I will see you hopefully in the next video.